Hello, my name is Jenny and I am an astrologer and an energy healer. I channel the energy of Archangel Metatron and other ascended masters and archangels when he asks me to. So, we're going to talk today about Uranus and Taurus and get more into what's going to happen on the planet and what's going to happen individually for us collectively. We'll see a lot of changes on the earth, a lot of geographical changes, and climate change scenarios. But individually, we're working with our sense of self worth. And that's going to be an 8-year process that, you'll end up in a very different place in your love relationship 8 years from now. Doesn't mean you won't switch. You'll switch partners for sure. That doesn't have to happen. It's not necessary. But whatever is necessary to bring you into a place of balance in your love relationships and in your sense of self-worth and self-value, those things will play out. So if you've gotten yourself into a relationship where you're together, there's codependency, or financially you're only together because you think that there's no way you could make it financially without the person, things will come along to remedy that. And really the biggest hurdle that we have with all of this is holding on to the status quo. Uranus is not having the status quo. There's no such, Uranus doesn't even know what that means. Uranus is about change and revolution and revelation. It's about bringing the charges, like the lightning rods, down from the cosmos onto the earth. So I was saying that in my last video that I always see Uranus as a tornado in my dreams or my visions when he talks to me about Uranus, but it's also got that lightning because it's electric. And it's been on fire. It was on fire for 8 years in the sign of Aries. Now it's grounding into the earth. And as it moved into Taurus, Mars then moved into Aquarius, which is where Uranus is from. That's his domain. So now Mars is answering to Uranus, whereas for the past 8 years, Uranus was answering to Mars. And Mars will be there. He's going to dip into Capricorn, but he's there mostly until November. It's a very, very long time for Mars to be in one sign. Very long. And the fact that he is answering to Uranus, as Uranus is answering to Venus, is significant. That's saying a lot because that's the divine masculine now basically being directed by the divine feminine. So it says a lot. Also, when Venus in a few days moves into Cancer, that Uranian energy of like upheaval and just, you never know what's going to happen. That's the feeling of Uranus. But it also brings like innovation and, it's not like a bad planet. There are no bad planets, but it's beneficial in the way that it frees us. It takes the chains off. And then, it kind of it can decimate something and then just moving right along, just go on to the next thing. And so the best thing to do with the Uranian energy is you have to let go. You have to let go. And so in cases of love relationships that aren't working out, where you've been getting the hint for quite a while, like, I don't think this is or I'm miserable in my marriage. Something is going to come along to cause you to finally take a step toward freedom. It isn't just about sitting around waiting for the other person to do it. It's about us taking action to free ourselves, saying to the universe, okay, I'm not satisfied. I'm ready for something more. Maybe, ending the relationship is a good way to send that signal. I'm not saying like everybody should run out and file for divorce or anything like that, but you want to like make sure that the universe understands that you're ready to be free and that you can accept that in a kind, gentle way that's helpful to all parties involved, where there could be a peaceful resolution. So I wanted to talk about that in relation to the twin flames too, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But Uranus and Taurus is when Metatron was talking to me about that new moon in Aries, that happened just about a month ago. He showed me the Earth as a seed, and it cracked open like a seed. I mean, it was like a violent splintering open, not like, but I'm just saying it wasn't like a little crack in the seed. It was cracking open, and in the cracks, which were wide and deep, was red, like fire. Then when I talked to him about the full moon in Scorpio, and I asked him to show me what that was, he showed me. I mean, I was really high up, but the Earth it looked like covered in volcanic ash. I'm not going to dress that up too much. It really looked like there was a significant amount, he's saying, a significant amount. I didn't see like the whole Earth. I saw quite a bit. A significant amount of volcanic ash. But it's important to remember with all of this talk of the event, you can't, when people get things from their higher consciousness, you have to take everything with a grain of salt, because everyone is filtering things according to the way that, their own perception and their own beliefs are affecting that. The event is a sustained period of change. It's Uranus coming into Taurus, answering to Venus. Venus rules Taurus, and she rules Libra. Libra is about balance. Venus is the feminine, and Venus is about balance. It's about equality. So this is going to be 8 years where the money, Taurus is also money, money, love, self-worth, self-esteem, how others treat you in romantic relationships, and then Earth, physical Earth, Taurus. Taurus also rules the body, so our physical body. So, Uranus will bring us strides in technology and innovation with agriculture, because it rules agriculture. But this Uranus in Taurus energy, that like the most significant changes, the most important things that will come forward now, yes, agriculture, and the changes on the Earth and the changes with money. Those are going to be huge things. For us individually, it's about bringing relationship into balance. It's about being set free of relationships that we have no satisfaction in, that we don't want to be in, that we're there because the kids, it's better for the kids, or because of the money, we like it, it's comfortable, it's easy. Uranus doesn't know those words. Uranus doesn't know comfortable, doesn't know easy. Uranus is freedom and revolution and revelation, and Uranus is about getting it done. So all of the ideas that we've all been getting these past 8 years, that Uranus was going through Aries, setting us free, bringing us revelations, and a way that we could, what our little piece of the planet, how it could be changed by us, our family, how they could be changed. This is about implementing all of that you have here now, bringing it into the Earth, bringing it to fruition on the Earth. It's great to have it there. It's great to have ideas. It's great to imagine the things that we can do. I'm good at that. But actually putting implementation is what he's saying, like taking the steps toward implementing it. And the universe will meet you more than halfway on this, because it's time. It's go time. There's no more like, oh, I just need to get these things. No, we just need to take a step. All of us just take a step toward it. And then, if it's a misstep, it'll correct itself. But take a step. Be like, here, okay, I'm ready to do this. I know all of these healing modalities. I've had all these teachings. I'm ready to share it with someone. Or, I'm finally ready to start painting. I've been wanting to paint, or knitting, anything, whatever, you name it. Whatever it is that's your little dream, that's your hopes and wishes. It's about bringing those now to fruition on the Earth. That's Uranus and Taurus. So I was asking him also about, he gave me some cards for this, so I'm trying to think if I should talk about the twin flame situation now. Okay, so he's saying divine union. So, it gets a little cloudy with the whole twin flame thing is a little bit cloudy. I knew myself that I was a twin flame because Metatron woke me up at 5:30. It was 5:30 in the morning one day. And I was glad to be woken up, yes. And told me that I was a twin flame, and then, basically drew an animated drawing of what was about to happen in my life, and with my twin flame union. So For those of us who are twin flames, I mean, if you're a twin flame, you know that you're a twin flame. You don't need to read something or, have anyone else explain to you exactly what's happening, because you pretty much know if you go within what's happening. I would say what I learned this week about twin flame unions is that there's no right or wrong way to do it, is what he's saying. That this is a free will planet. And if you meet your twin flame and your twin flame is otherwise occupied or maybe just not interested in having a relationship, you don't have to wait for that person. It isn't true at all that you can't have this amazing sex life and relationship with someone who isn't a twin flame. For those of you that don't watch anything about twin flames, there's a lot of talk about how, that's the only vibration that you're going to experience these supernatural things with during sex or any other time. It's just not true. I knew a couple of years ago that I wouldn't meet my twin soul, which was devastating at the time. It was, because I believed all of that stuff that was out there. But then what happens is you make a switch to another twin flame. It's always someone that, of course, that everybody knew that this was going to happen. It's not like, oh, what do we do now? And then they take you with your twin flame to a place where you're calibrated to match one another perfectly. So there's nobody's missing out on anything or anything like that. What happens in a lot of situations is that, we're individuals on the planet, and one person makes the turn, the other person doesn't make the turn. The person who made the turn doesn't have to then keep chasing after the other person and saying, come with me, come with me. That might be some really messed up karmic agreement that you came here with, that you can be released from. And that's what Uranus does. It releases us. It frees us from all of the other nonsense so that we can do what we came here to do. We can be in the love relationship that we want to be in. We can be with the person that we want to be in. Maybe that twin flame that you have been pining away for because their higher consciousness, the person on this planet maybe doesn't have any connection with their higher consciousness and doesn't even realize what's going on, because you could be living out a really unhappy karmic situation. It's possible. So what I did over the weekend with Archangel Michael and Metatron is I released all of my obligations to twin flame union and, any union, really. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be with your twin flame. You always have the golden cord that connects you to all of your soulmates, to your children, your parents, all the soulmates that you have. You've got this golden cord in your heart that keeps you in connection. But with obligations, those are not golden cords. Obligations are the dark, stringy entanglements that we get messed up in. And we took them on, especially with the twin flames. And really, everyone has a divine timing and a purpose to be here. But a lot of times, to make sure we fulfilled our purpose before we got here, we took on obligations to other people, and they don't help us, and they don't help the planet. And first and foremost, we're here to experience joy, to be joy, to share that joy with someone else, and to experience a relationship of unconditional love. The planet's vibration is raised anytime two people come together and love one another unconditionally. The twin flames, yes, it's important that they come together and love each other unconditionally, but I know twin souls myself that they're not happy. They're not a little bit happy. So it isn't as important that you come together with that one and only, which is also a misnomer, but that one person. It's important that you come together in union with someone and they love you unconditionally and you love them unconditionally, and it's a balanced, harmonious relationship. That's the goal. The goal is not to be with your twin soul. The goal is to be in a happy, harmonious relationship where you can still have sex off the charts. You can still have all of the other trappings, is what they're saying, of twin flame union. Yeah, you can have all of the benefits without any of the harsh side effects, is what he's saying. So I'm going to ask now, not just for twin flames, for all of us who were in a relationship that wasn't so great, or maybe the one that you're in right now you'd rather not be in. There's usually, if you're staying in that relationship, it's usually because of obligations. And anytime there's obligations, when you're saying, like, you say to someone, you have to do this, that's going to make the person resentful. Nobody likes to hear, I have to do this. As soon as you hear that, when someone says to you, you have to do that, you feel like, well, I don't have to do anything. So the obligations are keeping resentments there, and could be keeping people from their union. So I'm going to ask now, and like I said, there's no reason to think that without these obligations you won't come together with your twin flame. It's more common that with the obligations it will cause a problem, a hiccup, he's saying, in the union. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to put our feet on the floor, open our hands in our laps, close our eyes, and we're going to ask Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron to come and to cut the cords and ties between ourselves and soulmates, where we have put ourselves into situations or asked to be introduced to circumstances that will rob us of joy, that will deplete our energy. We're going to release all of the obligations for that. We're going to allow ourselves to come into union with one who is our vibrational equal and match, who is ready to have an intimate, joyful, hopeful, fun, exciting, adventurous, intimate relationship with us. We're going to release ourselves from any obligations of having to learn lessons in love in a harsh manner. We're going to allow ourselves to learn our lessons about love, about equality, about balance, and about harmony in a kind way. We're going to ask to be cut away from all the entanglements are cut away from us. And we're going to ask for the golden cord in our heart space, and our heart space, our future or current partner's heart space, to please clear out all of the debris, resentment, jealousy, anger, bitterness, any and all things that are standing between ourselves and our true love or divine partner. Going to ask the angels to take all that to the light of the Creator, the light of creation, and to cleanse and return the soul fragments to each of us. And anytime that you would like to connect with your future partner in your heart space, you don't have to necessarily picture a face. I would say close your eyes and ask Metatron to usher that energy into your heart space. If you aren't feeling anything at that point, then it's your block. It's something that it's fear blocking you, or there's a heart wall. Something is going on like that. So we can work on that if you want to work with me, or any other energy healer, really, I would assume, would be able to do that. But I am a blue golden ray of the twin flame angelics. So the blue is, Michael, Mother Mary, the same kind of energies. And the golden is the principle that they, how they used gold to fix cracked pottery way back in ancient times. It kind of comes in there and fills in the cracks and puts everything back together again. That's what the golden is about. So if you would like a reading for, twin flame or divine partner, soulmate reading, I can easily do that with you, with Michael and Metatron. That's what I always did, because it's hard to hear like just a general reading and know how to apply it to yourself. I just, for myself, said to Metatron, with the person that I was coming into union with, if this is going to be a case of me going through something that I would rather not go through, then I'm okay with not meeting this person. And so that was Uranus square Mars. That was my weekend. So anyway, All right, so we're going to talk about the cards. He had me pull 4 cards for Uranus and Taurus. The first one is perception. That blue golden, see that? So, the frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. When we're talking about Uranus, we're talking about the higher cosmic revelations coming into the ground, the earth. And the perceptions, you know, when you're looking at like what is about to unfold as far as, you know, climate change, and, you know, the things that will be going on all over the planet as the earth is cracking open like a seed to birth, to give life to the rise of the divine feminine and equality and balance on the planet. That's the way that our perception of it should be. This is like a healing energy coming to the planet. So perceiving it as something to be afraid of, something to fear, or just, you know, like it's, you know, it isn't all about, it's about, this is what we, as he said, we didn't just ask to be here, we were insistent that we come here at the time. And then this is also talking about the perception of us being able to bring forward our gifts on the planet. If you can see yourself, if you can imagine yourself, perceive what it is, see yourself doing what it is that you want to do, that's how you get there. If you're not seeing it, if you're not imagining it, because then there's something in there blocking you that you can't believe that it's actually possible. If you try to see it and you just think, well, what about that? Well, what about, then that's like something, a program or a pattern, something that, you know, you can work on to be released. You can do that also with an energy healer, you know, to find out like what it is that the block is there. Then alchemy. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, okay. Alchemy. Frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. So now as Uranus comes into Taurus and the vibration of the earth is raised, and you can do this anytime. You don't need any, you know, you could ask the angels to do it. But you can just look up at the sky. If you see the chemtrails, you can just say those are transmuted through the energy of unconditional love. And that's it. It's all done. So we can ask like for when like okay, let's say if there are fires, if there are volcanoes, we can't like say stop doing that, you know. But we can send unconditional love into storms. We can send it into, you know, weather patterns changing, and ask that that the elements are able to disseminate the change like in a gentle way. You know, as we've talked about, people will leave the planet. People are leaving the planet already. It's amazing how many younger people have passed away recently. But you know, with all of the people leaving, that's their decision. That's how they decided to transform. Coming back while the earth is going through this frequency change isn't, you know, their vibrations are going to be much higher. And so maybe for them, for their soul, it was better to leave the planet now so that they could be around for what's happening next. And then the third one is the divine masculine. The divine masculine. That looks like a Blu-ray to me, doesn't it? Divine masculine. The frequency of divine masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So the divine masculine, Mars. Mars is, you know, anger and war and battle. It's also drive, ambition, and what you need to force to, you know, your initiative, you're thrusting forward, you're going out there and getting it done. So that divine masculine also speaks to also Chiron and Aries, and the healing as Uranus goes through Taurus and is, you know, the divine feminine is handling Uranus, the Uranian energies. Chiron is then being directed by Mars because he just came into Aries, which is the masculine. And Chiron is the wounded healer. It's also the wound that never heals. So that's going to be about all of us letting go of the battles of war and aggression and not knowing the realization that we are the I am, that we are, that Christ, came to teach. Master Sananda came and incarnated as Jesus in order to teach Christ consciousness, that we're all a part of the Christ consciousness, that the great I am that resided in him resides in all of us. And that's what Chiron is going to be making his trek through Aries at the same, they're about 30 degrees apart. So they're having a conversation the whole time that Uranus goes through Taurus, Chiron goes through Aries. So the divine masculine, and then, the writing of those energies, it's interesting that it's a 22, so that's a 4, that's Uranus. So he's tying that together then with that Chiron and Aries and Uranus and Taurus because they're about the same amount of time that they're going to spend in those signs. So we're also looking at the healing of the divine masculine during this 8-year period too. And then the 11 is belief. And he's playing it again. He keeps playing that song, Believe in Yourself. I think it was a Sesame Street song. He likes to do that with kid songs with me. The frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. When I look at people's natal charts and I point out to them the gifts that they came to the planet with, it's always something that they love to do. It's always, it's just the perception and the belief that you can use your gifts. That's what you came here for. You came here to bring forward your own unique creativity, whether that's writing, whether that's teaching, everyone has a creative gift, a work of art, whether it's singing. Maybe you don't earn money doing that. Maybe it just makes you happy. Great. North Node in Leo, go for it. You want to be doing things right now that make you happy. That's what Leo is all about. So, yeah, believe in yourself. Believe that you have all of the tools that you need at your disposal right now and that you're able to bring these gifts. It's about bringing the creativity of the cosmos. That's Uranus. The creativity of the cosmos, implementing it on the earth. That's how we raise the vibration of ourselves and then in turn raise the vibration of everyone around us. Pretty soon the whole planet's vibration is raised and we're back to utopia. So anyway, if you wanted to check out my website, astrologyforascension.com, I'm going to be running a Uranus in Aries special, I think for about a month. So I will get that up on my website probably sometime tomorrow. I'm hearing 33% off. So we'll see how that works out. I'm not sure exactly how to do that with the different prices. I'll figure it out. So anyway, if you want to know what your natal chart has to say about your path, about your partner, about your issues in love, like how you were, why your relationships have been maybe more one-sided than the other, or, any question that you have, honestly, it's in your natal chart. And I do those healings with Metatron. I use the technique of theta healing, but I've always used Archangel Metatron to do that as well. So my email is jennyb@astrologyforascension.com. If there's a reason that if something's happening and you're unable to pay for a session right now, there's something that we can work out. I want to make sure that everybody who's looking for a healing session now is getting one. The energies have been brutal. I mean, just brutal. I don't know. Everybody's just like, what's going on? That was yesterday. But this weekend, honestly, and I wanted to give a time frame that I was asking earlier about the earth changes. So what's really standing out to me now, and this can change, remember, so that's why I don't really like doing the time, like the specific dates and times, but I see like things beginning to really change in earnest, or there being some kind of shift. The most major, I would say, like end of July, early August, but I'm also seeing like second half of June stuff coming up. So, and then I wanted to mention also that this because of what happened with the eclipse with the United States. I think personally, I have not asked this. I just think because of the United States natal chart, what it says about the way that we've treated the resources of the earth, I think that we're going to get hit pretty hard over here. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Make sure you ask for protection for your house and, your loved ones, everything that, and nothing's going to happen that wasn't already agreed to. But I don't feel like there's, I don't know. I feel fine with it. I'm right by a fault line, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, so if there's anything else to say, this is just going to be part one. I'm going to make quite a few of these as Uranus makes different aspects, but felt like it was important to talk about that right now for the twin flame, just because of what happened with me. With Uranus in Taurus, you're going to be set free to have the relationship that you want, the love that you want. It's coming to you. The next 8 years, it's exciting. So, okay, everyone, have a great day. Namaste.